let me just ask you something special. So, what were the secret strategies that you were following to crack CMA USA?
Okay. So secret, nothing as it's secret. It's quite open whatever I did. One thing is that for 6 months, I think you have to be in a monk-like condition, right? Being part of the working culture, like there are weekends are mainly one aspect you look forward to when it comes to parties or hanging out with your friends. For a period of 6 months, I was completely dedicated to studies. I mean, I actually used to look forward to Saturday. That whenever Saturday morning comes up, I used to take all my study material, go to a cafe, and I used to leave that cafe after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. So after certain point of time, even the cafe staff was kind of familiarized with me. They used to welcome me differently, treat me, serve me differently. So that's the fun part of it. Secondly, maybe this is one secret factor I could say is that I used a lot of retention tricks. So I have this habit of writing small notes just to keep or memorize stuff, and I always carry a sticky note booklet with me. So whenever any query or any important point which I realized, okay, I missed this in this question, okay, I'm unable to recall that concept, I'll immediately write it on a sticky note. And I won't do, I won't actually look back at the sticky note, but somehow I have that habit of writing it down. And this habit of writing it down helps me retain stuff for a longer period of time. So if someone is struggling with retaining concepts, I think this is one thing they could do. Next thing is that let's say if you're getting bored, maybe look for a study partner. One big benefit of maybe if you're enrolling with a prep provider, you have your classmates with whom you can at least compare. Like you can set a benchmark in the class and make sure that you're at least in top 30 or 40 percentile. Because again, on global average scale, I think the passing result is again 30 to 40% when it comes to part one and part two. A bit different for each parts. Maybe you could shed some light on that. But let's say if you are enrolled in a class, if you are part of top 20% of the batch, I think you should be fairly comfortable. And yeah, I mean, study partner helps you study long hours. If you're struggling to buy it yourself, of course, get a study partner. And yeah, that's pretty much about my secrets. Please add your wisdom, pieces of wisdom to this list.
Sure, Aditya. Awesome. I really liked about the sticky notes and also the shortcuts. Usually you don't remember like 5, 6 points. Let's say, for example, what are the important, let's say, for example, advantages of auditing, internal auditing system. All right. So I can just remember the first letters of all the points, right? You don't remember the entire point. So always remembering and forming your own shortcuts and strategies is always a must. And moving forward to like preparation method, right? Is that your I mean, pre-COVID it was offline classes, so you had opportunities to meet classmates. But now let's say there is a time wherein everything is online, right? The classes for CMA and for almost all the professional courses happen via live interactive classes and via recorded program. So again, coming to this particular point, so instead of you being isolated, let's say for example you take up a recorded program, is like this from my experience, what I see is that I myself had purchased a Udemy course, right? So it is still lying there. I It's like the completion ratio for a recorded program is very very low, right? So it's again, when it comes to a live or recorded program, just don't jump into recorded unless you have that discipline and unless you have that motive to clear in next 6 months. So do join live interactive classes or offline classes for better interaction and meet people. When you are surrounded with the CPA or CMA aspirant students, right? Most likely you get that competition. Okay, they have completed section A, they're answering in the class, and if imagine your classmate is answering and it triggers you, right? Like even I have to start preparing. So it's always better to join live interactive classes and or offline classes and participate each and every point. Let's say for example faculty's training, ask questions, ask a lot of questions, and sometimes asking questions, uh, you remember those questions and answers, right? So I remember during my days, during my college days, I asked only few important questions. So now if I look back after 1, 2 years, I just remember this question that I've asked. So asking questions is very important, especially in CMA classes.
One thing I want to emphasize here, what Padma said, is that asking questions. Maybe this is one part I missed from my list. I'm a very curious person, and I keep on asking questions, man. And I took a lot of help from my friends during my preparation, and this was one thing I used to do regularly. That is asking questions. Even right now, I'm pursuing my MBA from IIM Lucknow, and I'm like a nightmare to my finance professor. I keep on asking so many questions. Okay, how come this came into existence? How come that came into existence? There are a lot of concepts out there which are taught, but somehow I am curious enough to delve into how this originated. This helps me understand the rationale behind the concept, advantages and disadvantages as well. So having a complete picture of a concept helps you join dots with other concepts, and then your understanding is at next level. Then that kind of approach now will take you places. So highly recommended. If you are joining a class, make sure that you're giving a hard time to your professor through asking questions, of course.
Right, definitely.
Like a sauna, bouncing up and I'm trying to weave an anaconda. Jumping in the water, trying to